The black garlic does not taste like regular garlic. It has a totally different consistency and a different flavor. So then I actually went to a huge Korean market in Sunnyvale and they didn't carry it. So I'm not really quite.
I knew that we were doing this, and everybody had a rush.
Yeah, he looked at me.
The word got out.
It's really good because you know why? I'm eating the garlic bread, and it's a little bit of the black garlic. You can taste in it, and it's like a little hint of sweet. Hi, welcome to Cooking for All Seasons. My name is Judy Keys, and today I have my sister Debbie with me.
Hello.
Debbie's from North Carolina, Wilmington.
Yes.
Right? Wilmington.
Well, originally here.
Originally from here, but living now in Wilmington.
On the coast.
On the coast. So she was out, she was going to come out here, so I said, and we've done some shows together, but it's been a while, so I said I would like her to be here. And so then I was trying to think, what can we do? So then, as I was reading, because I read cooking magazines, you know, and go online and read cookbooks and stuff. And I saw an article on black garlic. Okay, so I used black garlic probably maybe a year or 2 years ago for a couple of things, but I hadn't used it, and I thought, gee, you know, maybe that would be like a really good thing, you know, kind of fun, something different. And so when I saw this article in this food magazine, I thought, oh, that's for us.
Yeah.
So let me tell you what. I have to read this because then I know that I gave you the correct information, because sometimes, you know, you can mess it up. So it says black is the new garlic, and it says, sure, it might look like garlic gone bad, but really it's an ingredient we've seen at restaurants across the country. Now this is from the cooking magazine. I haven't been across the country seeing it, but I'm reading what they say. So this is sort of a quote, I guess. Black garlic is made when heads of regular garlic are aged under specialized conditions until the cloves turn inky black and develop a sticky, date-like texture. So Debbie will show you what it looks like. Isn't that cool?
I'd say that's pretty inky.
That's pretty black. The only thing that I could say that was equal to that color would be squid ink.
Yeah.
You know?
The thing that's interesting about this is that these are single clove garlic heads, which in Gilroy, I don't think.
Well, no, you know what it reminds me of? Elephant garlic. I wonder if it's like baby elephant garlic. You know, because elephant garlic has a quite large clove, and I'm wondering if it is before it gets really big.
I mean, this is one
clove,
and it has a lot of weight to it, which is interesting. I wouldn't have expected it to weigh this much, but actually, I kind of wish all the garlic was single clove. It would really make it a lot easier.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You know, when you're prepping a lot of garlic and you're like peeling the cloves, this certainly comes in handy this way. But so it's pretty interesting. It's sticky. It's a little
so
sticky.
that's what it says. It says it cloves her inky black develop a sticky date-like texture, and the taste out of this world. Sweet, earthy, minus the alums, characteristic heat. Think of it as garlic's umami-packed shadow. Yeah. For in-the-know chefs, it's the shortcut to adding intense, what is that? Flavor to everything from mayo to steak. Okay, so the other one that's kind of like, what is that, would be something like anchovy paste in things. When people go, oh no, I don't like anchovies, but they're like, God, this is, and then you're like, oh, don't say anything, it has anchovy paste.
Well, yeah, because it gives that
undertone.
And I think this is probably, though, a bit more distinct in flavor. You probably want this to be
but I mean,
more,
what they're saying is it gives it a flavor that people aren't, they wouldn't know where that came from.
Well, you know, in reading a few things about it, it's similar to roasted garlic, but it's much more intense. So, you know, elevate that roasted garlic to, you know, to the 100th power.
I could smell it from here.
It's
a real earthy kind of.
Yeah, it's really neat. one of the things that, well, go ahead and finish if you're going to read some more.
Well, so that's kind of what it says. And then it just says, how does it become that? When bulbs are kept for weeks at low temperatures in a humid environment, the enzymes that give fresh garlic its sharpness break down. Those conditions also facilitate the Maillard reaction, the chemical process that produces wild new flavor compounds responsible for the deep taste of seared meat and fried onions.
Yeah, so it kind of has, well, I think, so I think a lot of people think that black garlic is fermented, but it is not. So that's a that's incorrect.
That's why I wanted to read this. And they use it in Korean, and they use it in what I read in Indian. Now, I will honestly have to say I couldn't find it anywhere. They used to carry it at, I could just say it, Trader Joe's. They don't carry it anymore. I've checked all the other major large markets, Whole Foods, Lenardi's and Otto's, all of these, and I couldn't find it. So then I actually went to a huge Korean market in Sunnyvale, and they didn't carry it. So I'm not really quite.
I knew that we were doing this, and everybody had a rush on it.
He looked at me.
The word got out, and everybody just went and had to buy it. Judy's doing it. Judy's doing it. We have to have our black garlic.
So I just, I kind of asked the guy, and he kind of looked at me kind of strange. I thought, well, maybe he doesn't realize I know what it is, which I really don't, but I kind of do. Yeah. Anyway, so we just resorted to the fact that I ordered it on Amazon.com, and it came, and it's good. So, I know you might have a little bit of a trouble finding it. Check some of your markets, your local markets. Probably more the ethnic markets, my guess, is that you might find it. If not, find somebody who can share with you and order it online. It's not that expensive, and it's kind of neat. So with that, we're going to make today, Debbie's going to make some, okay, she's going to make me eat it.
So it has a balsamic vinegar quality
to
it. So
it almost does really taste like that.
Yeah. So it tastes like roasted garlic
gone
with balsamic vinegar glaze, like an aged balsamic vinegar glaze pureed together. So it's tangy and a little sweet.
I was trying to see if the hand wanted to taste it, and she's like, "No, I'll wait." I go, "Okay."
Do you want to taste? Okay. Anyway, so it's really amazing. I think
it tastes good. I think it would be really good. Well, okay, these are the things we're going to make. Debbie's going to make a black garlic herb butter. And that's like, we have fresh herbs and stuff like that. And she's going to combine it and everything. So she's going to show you how to do that. Then we're going to make a mac and cheese with black garlic. No, mac and cheese is like really popular and everybody's eating it. So I thought, I wanted to make things that were kind of simple, things that people could make and sort of, not something that was real complicated. Because then they're like, well, can I just use it for regular stuff? So this is kind of regular stuff. Then Debbie's going to make a roasted tomato with fresh herbs and black garlic. Pasta.
Okay, so one thing I do want to mention, in all of these recipes, with the exception of the mac and cheese, the black garlic isn't going to be cooked highly into the recipe. So because it's already very dark in nature, hence the name black garlic, I think you'd probably, you don't want to fry it up in a pan because it'll burn very quickly. This was an FYI moment from some friends back in Wilmington and Raleigh that are familiar with cooking with this a lot, so I consulted with them. So you don't want to cook this at any really high temperature. If it's in a sauce and you're just heating it gently, then that's fine. But
and in the mac and cheese, because the cheese will, that should be fine.
Right.
I don't. It's got cream and stuff, so I don't.
Right. So, but I'm gonna start with making a compound butter with it, and so we're gonna put that on some French bread. But instead of putting it on the bread and toasting it in the oven, we're going to toast the bread, and we'll assemble it later. And then we'll put the butter, on top of it. So you basically will just have it in a.
Actually, that's my favorite way of making garlic bread.
And
anyway.
you have it in a dish on the table, and everybody can put the amount of butter to their liking, which is always a lot.
Yeah,
for
well,
me,
I was going to spread. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
not going to eat it.
So are we?
Okay.
We ready to get
Yeah.
going?
So let's do it.
Okay. Cool.
So the first thing is, okay, so we have right here, we have a pound of unsalted butter. It's real soft.
It's soft, so you definitely want to do that. And you can also, I'm going to use a wooden spoon. It's a little stiffer. So you can just break it up a little bit to start with. If you have a food processor, you can also use that. But this is just, as long as your butter is soft, this is fine. Now, this is unsalted butter. If you don't have unsalted butter and you really want to make it, don't let it keep you from making it. Just certainly don't want to add salt to it. Or if you do, if you like it really salty. So we're just going to taste it at the end and then add some salt. So I'm going to chop some fresh herbs from Judy's beautiful herb garden. I've got some fresh parsley, which is, always a wonderful and easy herb to get a hold of, and it's inexpensive, so it doesn't break the bank when you buy it at the supermarket.
I just want to make sure there's nobody there.
No, I washed it really
I know.
good. We had little friends in the garden, if you know what I'm saying. So,
No, I don't know.
and one thing that's really important and is to make sure one habit that I have that I think is really a good habit to share is when you bring herbs from the supermarket. Now, if they're prepackaged in those little cello things, then they're generally hydroponic and they're already pre-washed. But if you're buying a bunch of cilantro or parsley, I bring it home and I swish it in cold water 2 or 3 times to make sure all the debris, dirt, sand, or whatever is off of it. Clip the bottom and then stick it in a glass of water, like a vase of flowers. And if you wash it in advance and then it's dry, then it's convenient to use for the rest of the week or however long it lasts. And I think that makes it a lot more enjoyable to make sure you incorporate fresh herbs into your recipes. Okay, so I'm just going to take the leaves off. And
This is my vacation.
Why? Because I'm doing it? Yes. There's no exact amount to make a compound butter other than what you like. The one thing I will mention is if you chop it all up in the food processor with these green herbs, you're going to end up with like pretty green butter sometimes. So you may soften the butter in the food processor, but you might want to just stir it in by hand. And here's some fresh thyme. So so like a really good way to take and strip the leaves off of thyme. You go the opposite direction, and if the top of it comes off like that, that means it's really tender on the top. So you can go ahead and chop that into it and not really worry about whether you're putting stems into it, because it's so tender.
So what other things can we use this butter for?
Well, one of the things that you'll see in restaurants and steakhouses is hotel butter or maitre d' butter, also known as compound butter, and so you can flavor anything with it. Especially with the summer coming up, and I know this is California, so you grill pretty much all year round. But summertime is a time that we all like to grill.
You could put it on steaks.
You put it on steaks, grilled vegetables,
Chops.
Grilled fish, lamb chops, pork chops. So and the thing is, you could use any combination of herbs. I'm just using what's in the garden. So thyme and parsley and chives are what I'm using. And I know there's some basil in the little jar there, but I'm going to use the basil for the pasta. And basil is okay, super okay to use for a compound butter, but I would use it all up. I wouldn't store it. So
could you put pesto in it then?
You could make a pesto butter, sure.
Yeah.
But in doing that, then you could buy pesto that's already made. But I would tend to use that up more quickly. And the pesto has olive oil in it, so it's going to be a little bit different texture when it's already made.
But it would be good and then you could actually add the black garlic to it later and put it on pasta or something like that.
Yeah, so you could say once you have it made, you could add it to anything. If you want to take a bunch of it and stick it in a pot of pasta that you've just cooked, then you have instant herb butter that just flavors your pasta perfectly with a sprinkling of Parmesan cheese, and you got an instant meal or side dish. On vegetables, it just kind of...
In chicken, like when you're going to pan fry some chicken,
Yeah.
And actually that you're going to almost put it like on a salad.
Yeah, and the neat thing about it is, you do it all in advance, and then it makes all of your other things so, it makes your cooking effort much easier and tastes like you spent a lot more time than you did. So I'm cutting up the thyme a little bit. I'll cut the parsley up too. You just want to break it down a little bit. I think because it's kind of a woody herb, I don't think you want big hunks of thyme leaves. I don't care for that.
No.
And a nice bunch of fresh chives. Just dry the bottom of it off because it's been in water. And
chive plants are great to have.
Oh yeah.
Because nothing irritates me more than having to buy it at the grocery store.
And then you can just garden in a pot too.
Yeah. Because it keeps really good. You can actually chop it and freeze it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do that. I do that at the end of the season when it needs to come, because we get frost, so we have to harvest our herbs. Otherwise
we barely get water.
Go.
But we're doing a little bit better. But
okay, so I've got that, and got my parsley chopped up, and
things that you can add to this would be like smoked paprika, smoked, I have some smoked pepper, black pepper, smoked salt. There's just all kinds.
Smoked salt is really great.
You could add, and the other one is if you can make a compound butter, it doesn't have to be savory. You could actually make it with honey. You could make it with cinnamon, nutmeg, vanilla. Things that that you like maybe in the morning, so you make
good on a waffle.
Yeah, French toast or something. So it's like
your regular toast.
Yeah, and you're having company. And you just want to like my sister says, zhuzh it up a little bit.
Well, who else says that?
I know.
Talk about that.
Well, we won't talk about her.
So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and toss that in, and then I'm going to cut up some of the black garlic and
you could also put. You could do a combination. If you wanted to, you could actually add whole, regular garlic to it.
I'm going to.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because this does not, the black garlic does not taste like regular garlic. It has a totally different consistency and a different flavor.
And it's sticky.
Yeah.
See how it's sticking on the...
Reminds me of dates.
Yeah, it is very sticky. It's black like black olives, color-wise, and it's...
Well, I know there's a market that makes a tri-tip that I believe they use black garlic on, because I always used to think to myself, I used to think, what is it that makes that so dark? And the only thing I could think of, something that they were making with squid ink, which is really black, that they use to make pasta with, to color pasta. And then
it flavors it.
Yeah, but then I thought they wouldn't be, I don't think they would be putting that on beef. Maybe, but I don't think so. And then I thought, I bet you it's the black, and I believe it is.
Black
so
garlic?
that's my mission to find
Well, it's
it.
really, I mean, the flavor is. Now, if you put this in the food processor like this, it would really make your butter gray. So I probably
wouldn't
would
do
not. I think it looks nicer when you see the specks of it, you know. So, okay, I took 2 cloves of the black garlic, and that's a pound of butter, and
they're big cloves, like say they're
and
kind
a
of
nice
big.
big clove of garlic, fresh garlic. God, these are huge.
That's Gilroy for you.
Really? No kidding. And just smash that down a little bit. Get that easier to. Okay, so
Smells really good.
yeah, I think the combination of the two is really nice. Yeah, but if you don't put the garlic in it, then you don't have to. I mean,
I think it complements each other.
yeah.
So,
All right.
I mean, there's just, different things to use black garlic in, soups, stews.
Oh yeah.
You know, just
And I'm just
all
dumping
different
it
kinds of
all
things.
straight in the dish there.
Nowadays, everybody, they'll put different things like in
Fusion
in
cuisines.
rolls and bread and things that you wouldn't think.
The other really good thing, I've seen quite a few recipes that are vinaigrettes that use the black
Oh, that
garlic.
would be good.
Because of the quality of the balsamic flavor, that sharp, that
Yeah.
tang in it, I think would be really good. So and then you just mix it. And you want to grab me the salt? And I don't know if I'm going to put pepper in this or not. So you can see it's pretty well incorporated with herbs. So you want a fair amount of herb in there so that you taste it. You don't want just a sprinkling. And if you don't have fresh herbs, you could use dry herbs. They have a different quality, but they're still good, especially on certain herbs like thyme and rosemary work very well. Oregano and sage work particularly well in their dry form, and there's a place for them, even though fresh herbs are always my first choice. Even a combination of fresh and dried is good too, so keep that in mind. Okay, so here I have a little. Oh wow.
Oh wow.
So a good probably teaspoon of salt in that. And it's a pound of butter, so it's not over salted by any means. Now I've got butter all over my fingers, so now I have to soap them up. Pretty tasty. I didn't mix the salt in yet, so careful. So, that's very tasty. There's definitely a sweet quality to that too. It's interesting, huh? It's good, huh?
There you go, a whole loaf of bread with that.
Huh?
You just, yeah? Mm-hmm.
More, and some pepper.
The red one.
You need the salt that helps bring out all the flavors. And then quickly, I'm going to show you how to put this in a wrapping that makes it very convenient then to pull out of your freezer or refrigerator and use, make it in advance and use through the month. And I'd say, you could probably keep it frozen for 30 days. I think that's probably about the maximum you want to use it for. Yeah. Okay, so I've got, just leave that there for a second.
Oh.
I've got a piece of parchment paper that I'm just going to lay down on the counter. And got something caught in my throat. I'm going to take about half of this and slap it right there, like in the top third of the paper. Okay, then roll it over. Either way, it doesn't matter. You could do it and squish it down a little bit. Okay, then take a sheet pan or something with a nice straight edge, and you hold the bottom piece of paper of the bottom part and push the top and kind of, you see how it's rolling and forming a log. So now I have a nice log of the butter, and then you just roll it back this way.
Neat, huh?
Twist the ends. And I have a marker here
Ooh,
somewhere.
where'd it go?
There he is. And then just...
No.
Here.
Oh,
Oh,
the hand has
hand.
it.
The hand. And then just put, compound butter.
And maybe the date.
Uh-huh. And I always just put the month and the year. Just because if you're like me, sometimes things get shoved in the back and they get lost. So it's always nice to have the date. You don't have to have the day, but the month and the year. So we're still in February, and this is 2016. Compound butter. And then if you're making different kinds, you can always, note what is in it, black garlic compound butter or whatever. So, and then this can go either in your refrigerator or your freezer, and it'll firm up, and then you can slice it and use it for whatever you like. Or we're going to then take the other half of this and use it to slather on the grilled bread or toasted bread later. So that's it in a nutshell. I'm trying to think what other ideas there are. Really, it makes a simple grilled piece of meat
Fancy.
just tasty. So, it could be as simple as parsley, garlic, and butter.
Yeah,
You
and
know
it's
what I
really
mean?
good on hamburgers too.
On a hamburger, spread on the toasted bun of a hamburger.
Yeah.
So really, you could do so many different things with it. I love keeping it in my refrigerator, and it's always. I mean, you can even stick it in the pan, melt it, and cook an egg in it. Scrambled an egg in it. I know that sounds decadent, but it tastes really good. And sometimes I put some lemon zest or orange zest, not juice, but the zest. If you want to, especially if you're going to use it for fish, maybe a little tarragon, a little black garlic,
Yeah.
and a little lime or lemon zest.
And some dill.
And dill. There you go.
So
The next thing we're going to go to is the roasted tomato.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, we're
Roasted
gonna prep
tomato
the
sauce. So
tomatoes.
it's very simple. I'm just going to put the tomatoes. I have these little. These are absolutely beautiful. Aren't
I
they?
know, cool. So we're gonna stop, and we're gonna get the rest of the stuff out for the tomatoes, and we'll be right back. Cool.
So we're going to go on to some roasted tomato sauce. So these are just little grape tomatoes. They are absolutely beautiful. They look
cute,
like
aren't they?
They look like little miniature Roma tomatoes, and they're all washed. And I'm just going to toss them on a sheet pan that's lined with parchment paper, and that just makes cleanup easier after you're all done. So just spreading that out, I've got about 4 cloves of fresh garlic that I sliced, and I'm just going to sprinkle that over them, and then just put a nice couple globs of olive oil. So you want a lot of olive oil on
Because that's actually going to make the sauce.
Yeah, so I'd say, you want a good 1/3 of a cup or more, okay? Salt, because the salt is really going to bring out the flavor. Some nice pepper. And I always like to add some chili flakes. If you're not fond of that, then, certainly you don't need to put that on. But a nice good pinch or 2 of chili flakes just helps balance the sweetness of the tomato, and it's going to probably really work nicely with the black garlic, which is very sweet. Okay, and I'm putting these in a preheated oven at 375. You can pop it up to 400. I'm just going to smush these around a little bit. Really what you want is to just roast these until they've popped and just started to juice out. You don't want to cook them till they're dry. So this is like a really great, neat way to do tomato sauce, and it's certainly a faster way than the laborious task of peeling tomatoes and seeding them, which both of us hate doing. I will go to any length possible to not have to do that.
It's just really time consuming. The only thing you do is sometimes every once in a while what I'll do is I'll buy a lug of tomatoes and just take a Saturday or a Sunday and just do it and get it done with, and package them in like 1 pound freezer bags and stick them in the freezer.
Yeah.
And then it's done.
Right.
I don't put garlic in it. I don't put really anything but maybe some salt. Okay,
so just to recap, this does not have the black garlic, nor does it have any of the fresh herb. I'm going to use fresh basil. That's going to go on at the end. So this is super simple. It's a super simple pasta sauce.
What's that? Oh, shit. I know what it is. Okay.
So,
okay.
Anyway, so that's just going to go in. We're going to set the timer for about 10 minutes. And then we'll be...
You want 10 minutes?
Yeah,
okay.
I think 10 minutes is plenty.
Don't be afraid to use your timer.
Oh, always use your timer.
Don't think that, I'll remember, because we don't remember.
Yeah. Oh, and
consequently, we end up with burned.
Olive oil, not canola oil. Make sure we use olive oil because it's part of the sauce. So just make sure that you use olive oil.
And not... Well, grapeseed oil doesn't have any flavor, so...
Well, you could use half and half,
but don't...
You need the olive oil. Okay, and the pasta's going to go in the pot.
Okay, so let's turn this on.
Yeah, I'm going to use... where's that? I'm going to show you this pasta. So this is a flat pasta. They look like little leaves, and Judy picked this out, so we're going to try it. I think it's
just for
cool.
something different. It has a little bit of a different texture. It's visually just kind of really neat.
I think it'll work nice with the size of the tomatoes because they'll still be chunks of it. And so generally when you match a pasta to the sauce, you want the pasta to mimic the sauce itself to some extent.
So and then after you get through. Okay, so my trick is that after you get through cooking the pasta and you're going to drain it, take a whole cup of the pasta water out first before you drain it, because the pasta water can be used to help make the sauce. It has a starch in it, so it's really good to add to your sauce if you have to thin it out a little bit. So. Yeah, I like this, the shape. I like,
And they're neat. So they're really textured on one side, so they're going to really grab the sauce on that side, and then the other side is slick.
I like buying pasta.
Yes, she does. She could open a pasta museum. Seriously.
I don't know why. Pasta and towels. It's sort of a thing. It's kind of weird. I don't know why, but
It's okay, Judy. You can get help.
I know.
Help is available. We all have little, like what I like.
I know. Pillows. She's been
I've been
She
cut
has.
off.
She's
I've
been cut off.
No more pillows.
No more pillows. I'm not talking about pillows that you sleep on.
Not-
I'm talking about decorative kinds of pillows.
No
So they have her picture with little X's in certain
No more
stores.
pillows for
No
Deb.
more pillows.
No more pillows for Deb. Okay, so I don't know if this water is boiling,
Here,
but
I'll
I
check.
think that
Not quite.
I think that this is going to turn out really nicely. I think, this looks like a really fresh made pasta. So it's really yellow. So this is a really kind of an eggy pasta, and I think this is going to really make a nice complement to a simple sauce. So the pasta is going to have a lot of flavor. The other thing we always have to remember to do is salt the pasta
Did it.
water.
I did it.
Okay.
I did it.
Because then if you don't do that, then nothing tastes good.
Well, the pasta needs the salt, and what happens is after you've made your sauce, the pasta won't necessarily pick up the salt from the sauce. It gets kind of.
So is it boiling? Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
But we can just hold on here a moment and.
So what else can you think about
Okay.
with that sauce? So anyway, the other thing you could do, if you don't use those little grape tomatoes, you could use like salad-sized tomatoes and cut them in half.
And seed them.
No, we talked about not wanting to do that.
I know.
No,
But
you
you could
could
just squish them though, because if you squish them, the seeds kind of fall out a little bit.
Well, I suppose. But you could use Roma tomatoes quartered, or
'Cause they don't have as many
the
seeds in
small-
'em.
Right, they have much more flesh to them. But you can use other tomatoes and whatever you have in your
San Marzano canned.
that also.
Some
works.
organic tomatoes are really good too. I've used.
And if you don't want to do it in the oven, you can do it on the stove in a big saucepan. Just put your olive oil in first, get it pretty hot, put your tomatoes in, and add your garlic after that. Don't put your garlic in first,
No, 'cause
the fresh garlic.
Burned garlic.
And then, cook it down into whatever texture you like. Then, adding your salt and pepper. And then once that's cooked to the point you like it, that's when you'll then add your basil and your black garlic or whatever other things that you like to add to it. Okie dokes.
Chicken.
Cooked chicken.
Cooked chicken.
I don't know about that.
Shrimp.
Shrimp maybe.
Shrimp.
Shrimp.
Shrimp with the black garlic and the tomatoes ought to be really good.
Yeah, that would be good.
Stop it. She's tapping her feet.
Sorry.
That means she can be dancing.
Oh, yeah. I'm waiting for the pot to boil. We all know what happens with that.
So because we're going to wait for the pot to boil. So there's your 10
I think
minutes.
my tomatoes are calling me, so I'm going to take a peek at those and just see how far along we've come. Nope, not ready. You want to take a peek at them? Okay. Not quite ready.
Oh, no, they haven't popped yet.
No, but they're getting very, very close. So,
they're-
it's hard to give an exact amount of time for many reasons. One, every oven is different, the size of the tomato is different, and the temperature of the tomato when you put it in the oven is different. So if you've just taken them out of the refrigerator, they're going to have a little bit different cooking time.
Boiling water.
Oh, boy. See, that's because I was watching it, and it took a long time to boil.
Now, I don't know how long do these ones take.
So
I'm going to look at the thingy. You know, I really do try to read. What can I read it? So what does it say?
It's probably.
It says about 17 minutes. So it's a heavy. So, you know, yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, it says.
Ooh.
It says bring water to a boil and salt pasta, and then it says 17. I could swear that's what that. Check the tomatoes.
I will.
We're getting signals.
Boil for about 17 minutes. Okay.
We're getting signals.
Here, take that.
Doo-doo, doo-doo. You can tell this is a family event. It looks good.
Not quite. A few more minutes. A few more minutes. It
So
really depends on how the tomato. So sometimes they're just instant like that, and sometimes they just take a little longer. So, like, you know, very important if you're going to go to all the effort to make something, and I say this all the time when I do classes, is always set a timer and then reset your timer and check your stuff. Because if you don't do that, you're going to really, you know, end up messing it up, and then you get frustrated. And the whole idea is not to get frustrated, but to enjoy it. So when I cook pasta, by the way, like that says 17 minutes, which is a long time. I'm really going to check the pasta at about 8 minutes, because sometimes they do make mistakes on packages, just so you know. But I always take the time, less time than what it says, and then add time onto it, because you can always cook the pasta more as long as you haven't drained it, but you can't take away the time that you've overcooked it. So
I'm just mixing it
that's fine.
because they're flat, and I think, you know, just to make sure that they don't stick the kind
Yeah, so
of.
you want to make sure that you have plenty of water in the pot when you're cooking pasta. And we've all been guilty of cooking it in less water than we should, just because we're, you know, taking shortcuts. But especially when you're doing that artisanal pasta like that, that's so cool and costs a lot more money, I think you want to make sure you put it in a pot with ample water so that it has enough space to circulate and so they don't end up sticking together. And that it's at a proper boil, because that's what keeps it moving in the pot so that it also doesn't stick. So, and it's a rolling boil, that's for sure.
So
I'm going to check that.
we're checking the tomatoes, and so let's be right back. Oh, are we done? Smells like tomatoes in here, though, doesn't it?
It really almost smells like contadina tomato plant,
Oh
processing
yeah,
plant.
we grew up there.
I need can I use this?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm just going to roll them around a little bit and see there's, if you can see that they're deflating. And that's pretty much what we want. And they're juiced out really nicely. And some of the skins are slipping off, but that's part of the dish, is having the skins. And so if you don't like that, then don't make this recipe. I'm just taking those out, and they're way too hot to handle right now, so I'm going to let them calm down a little bit. And the whole dish doesn't have to be super hot. In fact, it's probably going to taste better if it's not super hot, because the flavor of the basil and the garlic and everything will be easier to enjoy, I think, when it's not a super, temperature hot dish.
Well, after you get through putting this together, then we're going to put it in the warming drawer. I have a warming drawer. And I know that's kind of, but that was something that I really wanted. to put in my kitchen. And if you have a chance, it works really good because you can, you know, like things like for like Thanksgiving and holidays and stuff, it allows you to make things. Ooh, be careful. And oh, here.
I got it right here, Dee.
Oh, you know, it allows you to make things and keep them warm while you're, you know, preparing other things. It's kind of, I really like it.
Okay.
Okay, so you want the platter that we're going to put it on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we'll move this.
So this is now cooled down so I can actually handle it.
So do you want a bowl? Do you want a bowl to put it in, or are you just going to mix it all in here?
I think I can just put it on.
Oh, okay.
Don't need it. Okay, I'm going to just chop some fresh
Basil.
And it's all washed, ready to go. So I just do what's called a chiffonade, which is like ribbons in French. But you can chop it up, or you can tear it. You know, there's however you like to do it. I just like.
So would you put the sauce in first and mix it with the black garlic in here, and then add the hot pasta to it?
Say that one more time.
Put the tomatoes and the sauce in here, and then add the black garlic. Mix it all. Put the basil in it, and then add the pasta to it.
Could do that. Sure.
Well, because I'm thinking then that way since the black garlic is kind of sticky, it will allow it to separate out.
Yeah, I was actually just going to put it right in the pan there.
Oh, okay.
There, and then dump it on top of the pasta that way.
Oh, okay.
So then I got these nice little ribbons. Okay.
I'm going to go get a fork so that I may taste it.
So I'm going to keep some of it out on the side, and then I'm going to put some of it in on this. And I need a little
What?
mixeroo.
Oh, she needs a spoon.
Here we go. I've already taken the pasta water out.
So then this has regular garlic in it, and now it has the black garlic in it.
See how when you roasted it, how the regular fresh garlic got a little caramelized too. So it's nice. It's nicely cooked. So you're not going to have any raw flavor. Okay. Let's go ahead and put this here.
Isn't that pretty? I just think it's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So would you put Parmesan cheese on this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
So these tomatoes juiced out pretty nicely. I don't really think I'm going to need much of the pasta water to loosen it up. Boy, that just appeared out of nowhere. So I've got some nice juice down in the bottom of this, and it's going to get absorbed into it pretty well. So the basil that's in there is going to wilt a little bit.
Yeah, and give off of its oils.
Mm-hmm. And that looks
Doesn't
really
that look
beautiful.
really pretty?
That's really beautiful. And then I'm just going to do a little bit fresh on the top. I mean, this is a really nice dish for vegetarians and vegans. So it's a nice side dish. And because you got the black garlic in it, it's not just your average, fresh tomato and basil pasta.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of a different kick to it. Can I have one of those forks? A little cheese on the top.
Ooh, I think that looks so pretty. I love that pasta.
Yeah, I think it's really nice with the tomatoes like that. Okay, so take a little piece of that. Make sure you got some of the garlic in it. You can always add more too. It's working for me.
Mmm.
What you think?
Mmm.
Nice, huh? Okay. Good. Doesn't need any salt.
No, I salted the water correctly.
I put more in it.
Okay.
Did you see me do it? Yeah, you did. I know you did. I was on camera. So I don't know. You think a little bit more black garlic?
I think so.
Okay, let's put some more in it. And then we'll stick it in the warmer and
yeah, it'll kind of warm it into.
Yeah, it's just you took more of it than I was expecting.
Well, see, because it's not particularly strong in the garlic flavor,
right?
You're not really quite. And if you haven't used it, now we've used it. Now you kind of know now. Okay, we could go a couple of cloves.
Yeah, and it's not like eating raw garlic where you're like,
yeah,
oh my God, it's burning my mouth kind of thing. So that's nice.
So yeah, so I mean, I think it's just once you begin to use it, you will, you'll kind of get that. You'll be looking for that flavor, at some strength that you like.
Yeah, but it's like black tar.
It's gooey.
It is. Is it interesting? Well, I'm just going to dot it on the top here.
Yeah.
And separate it a little bit with my fingers because.
Well, you could actually get a piece of that in your mouth and you would not be offended by it. It's
No,
not like,
that's
because it's been cooked.
That's the point. And look, it looks like olives on the top of it. Oh, surprise! It's not.
They'll go, oh, it's pasta with olives.
It's black garlic again. That was so yesterday.
So we're going to go ahead. We're going to put this in the
There you
warmer,
go.
and we're going to look at the mac and cheese, see how it's doing, and then we're going to toast some bread, and, well, you'll see us. We'll be right back.
You know what's neat is that the sweetness of that really emphasizes the tomato. You know what I'm saying? It's like, when you drizzle balsamic vinegar over tomatoes, it's kind of like that. A little bit. It's nice. I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
So we will be right back.
Bye.
Hi, and welcome back. Okay, yum. So
I'm going to put that.
so this is, see, we toasted the bread.
So now we toasted it first, and then we're going to put this on afterwards because we didn't want to necessarily overheat the. We didn't want to overheat the black garlic. Remember we talked about that, right?
Yes.
So we're going to put this on, and then we'll cut it. Let it get a little melty in there, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't love garlic bread?
I don't know anybody. You know what this would be really good with? Like if you made like clam chowder or something.
Ooh,
and you served it like this with clam chowder.
You know what else it would
or
be?
minestrone or anything.
The other thing you could make is an aioli. Instead of a butter base, you could do
Fried potatoes, French fries. What?
The possibilities are endless.
All the diet things.
And see how it's getting all melty into it, which really, makes a huge, makes the huge yumminess factor.
Do you want me to cut them like that?
I don't care. I just thought it'd be kind of cool to cut them something a little. Well, you know what? Cut them at a. Don't do that because it's too tall. Just cut them at a deep angle or whatever. So make it easy. It's all about easy. I want to make sure.
You can, you know, you can, when it gets warm, you can smell the fragrance of the
Garlic?
herbs, you know, the oils and stuff coming. Yeah.
Isn't it fun to go to a barbecue or a dinner party, and they have a big basket of garlic bread in the buffet? Isn't that is always nice? So this is a really nice thing to have, I think. Everybody always loves that, and you always think, "Oh my gosh, that's so much bread."
It
Never is
always
enough.
gets eaten.
It's never enough.
And anyway, anything left over, you can make really good croutons with this.
Yeah.
You know, to put like in a salad or
Keep
something.
on your Caesar.
Caesar. So, okay. So then, my mom is here, or I should say our mom is here, and it's going to be her 95th birthday in a few months. So we're going to test. We're testing all these recipes because we're going to have a little shindig. So, all right. How's that?
Very nice.
That looks good.
Very nice.
Yum.
Move this out of the way.
You can see that?
So you know what? Go over what did we put in that? Because I think we need to recap it a little bit. Okay. So let me recap the pasta. Roasted tomatoes, like little grape tomatoes, and with olive oil, salt, pepper, little chili flakes, and some sliced garlic in an oven at 375 for 10 plus minutes, and just until they pop and get a little squishy. And then toss with fresh basil and some chopped black garlic over whatever type of pasta that you like.
So, but thank you guys. Thank you.
Thanks. Really,
Thanks, guys, for being here with me.
delicious.
And obviously, thank you to my crew and the hand. So, thanks, guys.
The best hand.
Yeah, don't forget,
We'll
if
give
you
her a
find
hand.
it, please send me an email. I would appreciate it. Okay? Thank you. Cooking for All Seasons out.
Bye. Black is the new garlic.
Oh, you want to turn that around?
There you go.
God, it looks good.
So I'm going to read this out of here.
So you're not hearing the microphone.
No, it's just on the replay.
The replay.
When you just rewind
He messed up.
it.
Okay, you know the rule is this is all.
Really, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
When? Does this look familiar?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Really, really good job.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
See, I wanted to have something that was really good idea, huh? Thank you.
Take the pasta, put the black garlic on it, honey. Get the black.
I did.
No. Is it?
Oh, man. You got this.
Really good.
Isn't that good?
Really, really, really good.
Really good.
Yeah, it's really good. And the chili flakes that are in it are not hot. It just gives it a back flavor. Okay.
All righty.
Well, the bread is crunchy.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
There,
Well,
whiten that bread.
I'll have to cut that out. It's tasty though. Oh my God, this is amazing.